Room 13, a hotel's darkest secret. Check-in. Warning, you should not be alone while listening to this story. It's not just disturbing, it's dangerous. If you're still here, welcome. And don't forget to subscribe. You'll need us when the lights go out. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something was already there, watching you, before you even opened the door? Welcome to Room 13. Not many people talk about the Delgrave Hotel. Not because it's forgotten, but because it remembers everyone who steps inside. On paper, it's just an old, dying building on the edge of town. No website. No photos. If you try to look it up, you'll find nothing. The address erases itself after midnight. And yet, some people still end up there, always alone, always drawn to it like a magnet pulling at the back of your skull. That's what happened to Joel Winters, a travel blogger known for chasing abandoned locations. He found the Delgrave by accident. He wasn't supposed to. He booked room 13. And now no one can find him. The room key was old, real brass, heavy, stained by something dark that flaked off in Joel's hand. The clerk didn't speak. His face was pale, jaw too long, eyes like tiny, sunken pits. He slid the key across the counter with shaking fingers. "There's no refund after the door shuts," the clerk muttered. His lips barely moved. Joel, laughing nervously for his camera, replied, "What kind of welcome is that?" He didn't notice the lights in the lobby flickering, or the black mold growing behind the wallpaper in long claw-like streaks, or the other guests standing motionless in the hallway shadows, faces turned toward him, mouths slightly open as if silently screaming. Room 13 was on the 6th floor. Except, the elevator only had 5 buttons. Joel took the stairs. With each step upward, the air got colder. Not cold, empty. Like the heat had been drained, like something had died here and taken the temperature with it. Halfway up, Joel's camera stopped recording. The screen glitched into static, showing a brief flash of something that looked like a face, twisted, eyeless, hanging upside down in the dark. He blinked. Gone. He reached the 6th floor, though the stairwell never turned. Just one long, straight climb that felt like it went through the building instead of up it. The hallway was narrower than the others, the walls slanted inward as if being crushed by invisible hands. At the end, room 13. Joel hesitated. Not because he was scared, but because he thought he heard something from inside. Breathing. Slow. Wet. Like lungs struggling to inflate underwater. He unlocked the door. It opened on its own. The room was pitch black, no windows. The air reeked of iron, decay, and something older, like the smell of a crypt that had been sealed too long. The walls weren't wallpapered. They were covered in writing. Thousands of names carved into the plaster, some in blood, some in something darker. Joel turned on his flashlight. That's when he saw the mirror. It stretched from floor to ceiling, covering the opposite wall. But it wasn't reflecting the room. It showed a different space, another version of room 13, identical but wrong. In the reflection, the writing bled. The shadows moved. And there was something standing behind Joel, tall, skeletal, its fingers brushing his shoulders. He spun around. Nothing. But when he looked back at the mirror, his reflection was still standing there. It smiled. Joel screamed. Not in fear, but in confusion. His body wouldn't move. His legs buckled. He crawled backward as the reflection stepped out of the mirror. It was him. But not. Skin too pale. Eyes black and weeping tar. Mouth stretched unnaturally wide as if sliced open on both sides. It said nothing. It only watched. Then it began to whisper. Oh, rhythmic. In a language not meant for human tongues. The words scratched at the inside of Joel's skull, gnawed at his sanity. Blood trickled from his ears. The lights flickered, and when they returned, Joel was standing again. But the thing in the mirror was gone. So was his shadow. He tried to run. But the hallway was no longer there. The door led to another version of room 13, smaller, darker, crawling with movement beneath the floorboards. He could hear scratching. Like nails. Like teeth. On the wall, new names had appeared. One of them was his. Joel Winters. Carved in deep. Beneath it, "You're next." He dropped his camera and ran into the corner, curling into a ball, whispering prayers. The camera, somehow still recording, showed him talking to something in the shadows. Begging it. Pleading with it. Crying. His face aged in minutes. His teeth began falling out. Then silence. Only the sound of something dragging itself across the floor, closer, closer. Cut to black. The video was uploaded 3 days later to Joel's channel. Automatically. No one knows how. No one ever saw Joel again. But viewers say, if you watch the footage after 3 a.m., sometimes, just sometimes, you'll see a second figure in your reflection, standing just behind you, watching, breathing, and if your name appears on the wall, you will dream of room 13, and when you wake up, the door will already be open. You've made it this far, but do you understand what you've invited into your life? There are rules when it comes to room 13. People think they can come and go, check in, check out. They think they're safe. They think they're in control. But control is a lie. The moment you step through that door, you are already part of the story. It starts small. You'll notice the lights flickering or the walls closing in on you just slightly. You won't be able to explain it at first. Maybe it's just a trick of the mind. Maybe it's the stress or the isolation or the echo of something you shouldn't have heard. But there's no escaping it. Room 13 is never empty. And once you realize that the evil inside has noticed you, it's already far too late to leave. Rachel Turner had been following Joel's journey for weeks before she decided to go after him. Her curiosity consumed her. She thought his disappearance was a publicity stunt, a last-ditch effort for views. But when she stumbled upon the strange, distorted footage of his final moments, a grainy, warped image where his own reflection reached out, something inside her cracked. She had to see it. She had to experience what Joel experienced, the dark thrill that surely followed him into that cursed hotel. Rachel wasn't prepared for what followed. None of them are. Rachel arrived at the Delgrave Hotel in the dead of night. The lobby was empty, save for the same gaunt clerk from Joel's footage. His face, still twisted with those same unnatural proportions, barely looked up when she approached the counter. Without speaking, he slid a key toward her. It was the same key Joel had taken. The key to room 13. Her heart pounded. Every instinct told her to run. But Rachel was determined. She climbed the stairs. The corridor seemed even tighter this time. The walls loomed closer as she ascended. The air smelled like blood, thick and suffocating. She felt as if every step upward was being measured, observed. Room 13's door was already slightly ajar when she reached it. The room wasn't empty. It was waiting. The same damp, oppressive air. The same rusted door handles. The same mirror that shouldn't have been there, a reflection that didn't reflect. But this time, Rachel's reflection didn't stand behind her. It watched her through the mirror, its face twisted with a smile that wasn't hers. The eyes were hollow, empty voids, yet they followed her every movement, anticipating her every breath. She turned away from the mirror, but something tugged at her, like an invisible thread wrapped tight around her chest. "Do not turn away," it whispered. She could hear it. A soft, low voice, her own voice but distorted, muffled like it was coming from far below the floorboards. "Leave." The reflection smiled wider. Rachel tried to leave. She turned to the door, her fingers gripping the handle, but it wouldn't budge. The door was locked, from the inside, and the walls began to bleed. Dark, tar-like liquid oozed down the cracked plaster, dripping to the floor, staining the carpet beneath her. In the mirror, her reflection was no longer standing still. It was moving, walking toward her, each step slow and deliberate, feet dragging across the glass. It was coming for her. She backed away, terror rising in her chest, breath catching in her throat. Every instinct screamed for her to run. But she couldn't. She was stuck. The walls were closing in and the air was thick, suffocating. She gasped for breath, but all she could taste was rot. Her reflection, the thing that wasn't her anymore, reached out from the glass, its hand extending, fingers twitching like the limbs of a broken doll. Then she heard it. The whisper. It said her name. Suddenly the door slammed open. The hallway was black, void-like, stretching far beyond the boundaries of the hotel. Rachel's heart raced, her feet stumbling as she ran, but no matter how fast she moved, she couldn't escape the darkness that clung to her. Her reflection followed her. It wasn't in the mirror anymore. It was behind her. She couldn't outrun it. The shadows wrapped around her, pulling her back toward room 13. She screamed, but it was swallowed by the suffocating quiet. The hallway was endless. The doors all the same, all wrong. She was trapped. And then she saw it. The thing in the reflection. It wasn't just following her anymore. It was inside her. Her vision blurred. Her body felt strange, heavier. Her own limbs didn't obey her commands. Her fingers were twitching, eyes wide with terror as they moved without her will. She was becoming the reflection. Rachel collapsed to the floor, her body jerking uncontrollably, her skin crawling with a sensation like it was being peeled away. Her heart hammered, but her chest was hollowing out, each breath harder to take. As her vision faded, she saw it one last time, the thing that was her but not her. It smiled, and for the first time it whispered, "You will never leave." Did you feel it? That cold breath on the back of your neck? The darkness that follows you even now? That's room 13. It's still out there somewhere watching, waiting, and it knows you now too. Don't think you're safe. You've heard this story, and you're never truly alone. Subscribe. You'll need us when the nightmares begin. Good luck.